We know from official sources that the greatest villain in the history of mankind, Adolf Hitler, passed away in his bunker on April 30, 1945, and his wife Eva Braun took potassium cyanide. But is this really the case? It is reliably known that the leader of the USSR, Joseph Stalin, did not believe in the death of Hitler until the end of his life, despite the fact that the so-called remains of the Führer were in the USSR. Most recently, the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation declassified documents that show that after World War II, the agency actively checked the version about Adolf Hitler's escape to Argentina. The first report is dated September 21, 1945. As follows from these materials, the head of the Third Reich reached South America by submarine, and 6 high-ranking Argentine officials provided him with a refuge, a ranch in the southern part of the Andes. It is noted that this information reached the FBI Director Edgar Hoover, but the Bureau's management considered it incomplete and decided that it was impossible to continue searching for Hitler on the basis of this information. According to official data, Hitler passed away on April 30, 1945, during the storming of Berlin by the Red Army. His remains were found by the Soviet military, and the Führer's attending doctors identified them. In 2017, the remains of Hitler stored in Russia were examined by French scientists. They recognized them as authentic and confirmed that Hitler really died on April 30, 1945. In addition, scientists have determined what exactly caused the death. In particular, traces of poison were found on fragments of teeth and dentures, as well as a bullet hole in the skull. Mikhail Maykov, scientific director of the Russian Military Historical Society, commented on the publication of declassified documents. According to him, immediately after the war, the Soviet state security services worked out the version that Hitler could have escaped. Several volumes of the investigation into the circumstances of the last days of Hitler's life and death have been preserved in the Russian archive. All investigations, the search for some evidence that Hitler is alive, were unsuccessful, Mikhail Maykov said. According to the scientist, historians have long put an end to the investigation of the circumstances of Hitler's death. His aides-de-camp and servants were interrogated, and his primary burial was opened. All the evidence came down to the fact that the remains found were identified as the remains of Hitler. We worked with his personal dentist, determined by his teeth and other signs. They definitely belong to Hitler, Mikhail Maykov added. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and subscribe to my channel.